Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to the virtual Talladega Super Speedway for tonight's running of Race 2, Season 3, the Dega Pros Little Guys Series. My name is Dawson Wise. You're catching all the action tonight on the Hickory Racing Network as we bring you 50 laps here from Talladega qualifying, getting underway just a quick moment ago. And we've got about 30 again this week that are ready to take to the track and advance 3 more into our championship event last week. What a great race. Myself and Baker had the call for you right here on the Hickory Racing Network. And Dustin Carruthers, man, you can't say enough about him. His work is done. For the next 5 weeks, he wins. He's in the championship. Justin Mills, as well as Carruthers' KSR teammate Trevor Oswornoth, able to lock in last Monday night in this race. And I'll tell you what a race it was. A little bit of everything. Pitch strategy, great racing at the front, a lot of lead changes, a lot of different leaders, a lot of guys really fighting and clawing for that win last week. Carruthers and Oswornoth able to bring home a KSR 1-2. Justin Mills, a heroic last lap effort. Their work is done. They are ineligible to race until our championship race in 5 weeks. So that brings us to tonight, week 2. Those 3 not in the field, which means, unlike last season, 3 new drivers going to make the field tonight. The top 3 finishers in tonight's race advance into our final championship race. And what a race we have on tap for you. All the names that you know and love, they are back. They are better than ever, and they are ready to get it going here on a late night Monday night. You know what happens when we get into these late night Monday nights? It's time to go little guys racing, and man, I cannot wait. Obviously, great to have Baker in the booth with me last week. I believe tonight there's a possibility we could get a special guest or two. We'll see as the night goes on if we do happen to get that. I know schedules are a little bit hectic on Mondays, especially if the weather's anything like it is where I'm at. I'll tell you what, I was scrambling a little bit tonight to get this one going, but lucky enough to be able to make it home in time from a extended weekend vacation and came back to some weather I did not expect. About a foot of snow on the ground. So, hey, we love that here in January. It's finally winter time, if you will, and the perfect snowed-in type of day to be racing here on the Hickory Racing Network, and excited to bring this one to you here tonight. Share the link right now. If you know a driver in this field, if you know someone that knows a driver in this field, get the link out right now. Tell everyone you know. We're about to go little guys racing here on the Hickory Racing Network. I appreciate it. The drivers appreciate it. I know the drivers love to go back and watch this after the fact, and we thank them for their work, but I would not be here without an audience. You guys are, I'm grateful for the audience that I get doing this. I honestly never expected it to happen, but hey, here we are, and we are ready to go once again. And if you enjoy what you're seeing, get the link out there. Get more people exposed to this. These guys deserve the spotlight, and tonight they're going to show off some more of what they can do. And I'll tell you what, we got a bunch of guys in the field that are ready to do just that. Some great runs last week. Zach Range had a great run. Ryan Baste had a great run last week. Several others that I'm just missing off the top of my head. Austin Green had a great run last week. Several others that are in the field tonight had good runs last week. They're ready to get it going one more time. And man, what a night we have on tap. What a race we have on tap for you. 50 laps. Getting ready to go under the green flag. 1:17 left in the qualifying session. Ron Morris on the pole so far. Great lap for the driver of the 76 of McCullough Motorsports. His teammate currently would sit outside pole. Still some to run their laps, so we'll see what happens here in the next 60 seconds. I'll tell you before we take the grid. I want to let you know right now, we will be having a tribute tonight. Laps 4 through 7 will be silent tonight in honor of a friend, a teammate of mine that we lost this past week. Robert Jordan, well known in the super speedway community to several. He was a peer to me as a teammate, a dear friend, and certainly devastating news this past week as we lost Robert. The greatest friend you could ask for, the greatest human being, one of the greatest that I've ever met, had the privilege of meeting, and certainly a great racer as well, and we are saddened by the loss of Robert. So to commemorate Robert and his life and to celebrate him tonight, laps 4 through 7 of tonight's race will be silent here on the microphone. Robert Jordan, famous for running number 74, so in honor of that, with no lap 74 tonight, laps 4 through 7, we will commemorate the life of Robert Jordan tonight here in just a few moments. So certainly appreciate you guys for working with me on that. It was such tough news to get, and we are certainly sending thoughts and prayers to his family and his friends and those of us that knew him best. We are ready to put on a race here for him tonight. With that said, we are ready to put him on the grid for the first time here tonight. Race number 2, season 3 of the Little Guys series here on the Hickory Racing Network. You are in the right place. if you are ready to get this one going. And ironically enough, we got driver cams already on here, and we're going to probably get rid of that, I think. I had not planned on doing this tonight. We'll get that squared away. Unfortunately, it was a little bit of a scramble for me. Like I said, the weather not cooperating with me, so I don't think we're going to do driver cameras tonight. We'll see. Maybe we'll get to them a little bit later on, but for now, we're going to stick with the basics here tonight as we put them on the grid. And with that said, we'll get you into your starting grid for Week 2 of the Little Guys Series Season number 3. Ron Morris Jr. of McCullough Motorsports on the pole tonight in the 76th time of 55.586 seconds to his outside. His McCullough Motorsports teammate, David Sheets, in the 1. Row 2, it'll be Logan York in the 48 to his outside. Zach Range in the 043. Row 3, Aubrey Thompson in the 28. Heat Joe in the 760. Row number 4 will be Richard Elliott in the bright pink and green 02 to his outside with the 99 X-Side Chevrolet Silverado of Dallas Knox. Row 5 will be Mark Vondell from McCullough Motorsports in the 59 to his outside Hyper Motorsports entry of Larry McDonald. Row number 6 will be Harrison Whitehead in the 77, that bright green distinctive paint scheme to his outside. It'll be the 5 of Bobby Forbes for Hyper Motorsports. Row 7, a man who impressed last week, rolling 13th tonight, Christian Martinez. We'll see if he can replicate his run from last week's race. And Chris Knighty rolls from the 14th position in the 222. Raymond Hanneman starts from the inside of row number 8. To his outside, it'll be the 12 of Cole Fitzpatrick. Row number 9 will be Tucker McClendon in the 27, the bright white and orange Tennessee colors. Love to see that aboard that 27 machine. To his outside, it'll be Joey Galati in the 14. The Green Ghost, Austin Green, rolls from 19th tonight to his outside, rounding out the top 20. It'll be Michael Clay. Jack Ignite rolls from the inside of row number 11. To his outside, it'll be Danny Barnes in the 7. Ryan Baste rolls from 23rd. We'll see if he can replicate what he did last week, maybe lock himself in tonight. To his outside, it'll be John Darnell of Team PGR in the 9. Tyler Vickery rolls from 25th tonight. Jimmy Shelton rolls from the 26th position. And our final driver in the field tonight, another new face along with Jimmy Shelton, Tayshawn McGaney rolls from the 27th and final position on the grid. 27 are locked, loaded, and ready to get this one underway. What a race we have in store for you here tonight. Little Guys Series Racing here on the Hickory Racing Network. We are about to go green. 50 laps on tap. Pit stops are on tap tonight. And we are ready to get this one underway here from the Talladega Super Speedway. Ron Morris, David Sheets, the McCullough teammates on the front row. Logan York, Zach Range looking to punch their tickets as well. So many great stories in this field over the course of last week, the last couple seasons, of guys getting ready to get it underway. Pretty good audience here on a late night Monday night. One last time, if you like what you see, give it a like, give it a share this link, and let people know we're about to put some Little Guys racing on the racetrack here at Talladega. Thank you so much for coming out for tonight's event. 50 laps on tap. A half fuel load means we will have several green flag pit stops if this race stays green. Off of turn number 4 for the first time tonight. We're ready to put him under the green flag. I hope you are as well. Pace truck takes the hard left turn down to the pit lane. McCullough Motorsports teammates Ron Morris Jr. and David Sheets bring us into the trial for the first time, awaiting the green flag from Barney the Flagman to put us under green here in Little Guys race number 2. 3 locked in last week. 3 will lock in this week. Who will get the job done? We're going to find out. Green flag is in the air. We're racing in Talladega. Off turn number 4 for the first time, Ron Morris up to the 8 of his teammate David Sheets. That leaves Logan York all kinds of open space on the bottom. Behind him, he's got the 28 of Aubrey Thompson. Brand new look at Davey Allison-inspired look aboard the 28 F-150 tonight. Off into turn number one more time. Richard Elliott joins the party. So does Zach Range. A couple others up a few spots already. Raymond Hanneman, how about up 3 spots since he started? Aubrey Thompson, same thing as he rolls to second. York clear of the lead. Onto the Alabama Gang Super Stretch here for the second time tonight. The 48, the bright green machine, leads the field. Down the super stretch and out towards turn number 3. What a run here by York and Thompson. York up to the top, blocks Ron Morris. Takes a push there into turn number 3. Sheets looks middle as Ron Morris tries to get right on the back bumper of Logan York. As they come off turn number 4. Lap 2 on the board. Lap 3 about to go on the board. Here comes Aubrey Thompson to the bottom. Behind him, Richard Elliott. The pair of teammates here in the tri-oval for the second time tonight. 3 laps on the board. Logan York leads lap 2 in the Little Guys Series and right back down across the nose of Aubrey Thompson. Gave him a chance to cool the temps. Now drops back down right across his nose. Now will give Ron Morris an opportunity to cool here in turns 1 and 2 for the third time tonight. As we look at guys starting to move through the field. +4, Danny Barnes. +5, Jimmy Shelton. How about those guys? Several guys dropping to the back. They don't like what they see so far. York up to the top with the help of Morris. Third line working. Dallas Knox. He's got some help along with him. Cole Fitzpatrick and one other truck. I believe it might be Christian Martinez that's with him as they look to head to the front. Aubrey Thompson continuing to lead the way. Richard Elliott in behind him. Zach Range went top to bottom. Now he's third on the inside. Double file to the tri-oval. And now, as we hit lap 4, we will commemorate the life and legacy of Robert Jordan for the next 4 laps. Danny Barnes leads lap 7. I want to thank everybody for that tribute. And we're doing exactly what RJ, as many of us knew him, would want us to be doing tonight. We're racing. He wouldn't want us to be doing anything else tonight. As we honor his life, remember him for the person and the teammate and the friend that he was to many of us. And what a tribute that this is so far tonight. Danny Barnes leads down the super stretch and off into 3. A bit of shuffling up front. I'll tell you what. Guess who got to the front? Christian Martinez. He was telling me this week, I'll tell you this much. I got to talk to him a little bit as he gets in the back of Danny Barnes. Everybody stacks up, has to get out of the way. Everybody seems to get it back going. I think we're all back in line, but I'll tell you what, Martinez, I got a chance to talk to him this week, over the course of the week, and very confident after his run last week. Led a lot of laps, looked very comfortable, seasoned up front, leading the field, controlling the lanes, playing Pied Piper, if you will, in front of a field of very experienced drivers, and he was amped for this race, ready to go, ready to make another statement tonight, and certainly doing so far. He has torn through the field up 9 spots. Danny Barnes, how about him? Up 20 spots right now from 22nd to 2nd. Some other big movers. Take Sean McGaney, the new man, up from 27th now to 15th so far, up 12 spots from where he started tonight's race. Now make it 13 as he's up to 14th position. A few guys up 7. Chris Knighty, Cole Fitzpatrick, Joey Galati all up 7 positions from where they began tonight's race. Jimmy Shelton is up 8 positions from where he began tonight's race. And a good one so far, I'll tell you what. We're looking even more likely that we're going to get a green flag pit stop to open this race. The same thing that opened last week's race to open the season. What a night so far for the Little Guys Series. Lap 10 on the board. It'll be 40 to go next time we flash by the start-finish line. About 4 laps, we imagine, until our first round of pit stops, maybe 5. I believe we rounded it off at a cool 15 laps last week. I imagine it will be the same tonight, which means about 3 green flag pit stops await these drivers over the course of the rest of the night. Barnes, Morris on the front row. Martinez pushing hard on the bottom. Sheets still hooked up with his teammate up top. Like all the drivers working very well together as the field rounds off turn number 4 one more time. Dallas Knox has stayed in the party. He is third in the outside. Logan York third on the bottom. There's Chris Knighty, fourth in line. That bright maroon, pink, and yellow 222. Zach Raines settled in nicely, fourth on the bottom. How about Cole Fitzpatrick? He's in the party as well. Morris back down across Danny Barnes, controlling lanes well up front. 11 laps on the board. 40 remain here from Talladega. It'll be 39 in about half a lap's time. We've seen 3 wide a couple times already, a couple times during those 4 laps a few moments ago. So we've seen it a couple times already, but not anything major. Although now Dallas Knox starting to push the tempo a little bit, starting to push the envelope, pushing David Sheets alongside his teammate Ron Morris. Now can he get him clear and lead the top here and take some time out front of this field? So far, not yet. David Sheets continues to lead. He may get clear of his teammate right here. If Knox can get him that little extra bump, he does. Down goes Sheets. Knox almost followed. Stays up in front of Chris Knighty. Cole Fitzpatrick now third on the top, behind Knighty and Knox. Great start for some of these guys up front. You could tell who's pushing the issue and who is deciding to roll a little bit further back, bide their time, and make it happen. Later on in the event, after pit stops, when it's time to go, Dallas Knox going to take a turn out front in the X-Side Chevrolet. Knighty, a nice push to him. Now Fitzpatrick will lock and load here and try to keep Knighty up at the front of the field. They've got help coming. Joey Galati's on the way in the 14, and they've got help coming as well. And that is in the form of Jack Hignite and Jimmy Shelton. As they are coming forward, trying to make it happen early in the going. Interesting to see some of the differing strategies so far as we approach our first pit stop of the night. Pit stop's such an interesting, almost taboo subject here in a race like this. A race that was 27 laps the last 2 seasons, now 50. The fuel cut in half. Not able to make it on one fuel tank. You're going to have to pit 2 or 3 times, so it adds another element to this form of racing that these guys were not quite used to. Chris Knighty going to take his turn out front, the 222. alongside Dallas Knox. Fitzpatrick doing an excellent job of shoving there on the outside of the racetrack. Danny Barnes dives to the inside. He's going to be the first to take a trip to pit lane. He's got one more with him. Looks to be Larry McDonald in the 80. A new look for him tonight as well as they both hit the pit lane. Galati jumps out from behind Fitzpatrick. The top line going to die just a little bit as Fitzpatrick awaits his help. On the bottom side, 90, Knox, Sheets, Morris, Martinez, and Logan York, Zach Range, and Aubrey Thompson. Everybody starts to get cycled out for pit stops. 90 going to jump up now. Tries to come back down. The bottom line has to stack just a little bit. That's going to allow Cole Fitzpatrick right back into the party. He's going to take the lead, nose out front. Actually clear down in front of the 222. Trouble. Around goes Chris 90 in the 222. Somehow he gets it saved and everybody keeps going. We're still going to stay green as most of the leaders going to come to pit road. Fitzpatrick, Knox, Range, trouble. Around goes Christian Martinez in the 1. He collects Zach Range. They're going to spin on pit road. Will this draw a caution? It hasn't so far, and now more involved. Ryan Baste is involved. Heath Job, I believe, is involved, and now it's going to draw the caution as cars come to a stop on pit road. Our first caution of the night on lap number 15 of 50. So with 36 to go, right as our pit cycle was getting underway, an incident at the front of the field as the leaders came to pit on lap 15. We'll go back briefly here. Take a look at what got this one started. Looks like it was Martinez and Range, I believe, that get together and started this incident on pit entry. We'll catch them all the way here. TV follow is the best one to use for these kinds of incidents. Let's see what happens here. Range to the outside of Martinez. It almost looks to me like he's going to perhaps think about not pitting. At the last second he realizes, well, all my help is pitting here. And in fact, he is running with a couple of teammates tonight in the form of Logan York and Tucker McClendon. So as they come to pit road, I imagine it's a late call. He's going to just clip the back of the Christian Martinez machine. And Martinez going to spin down right back in the path of Range. Collect him. I don't know if Logan York gets involved. It's this potentially some teammate-on-teammate violence. And yes, York does get involved. So a couple of those trucks around. The newly branded Misfortune Motorsports teammates. And does McClendon get in this as well? Are all three of these trucks involved? They are. McClendon gets a piece as well. And as Martinez goes to back up, here comes the oncoming Ryan Baste, who gets in the back of Martinez. And then Heath Job gets into the side of Martinez as he tried to back up and get it back righted and get to his pit box. And unfortunately going to do some more damage to that machine. And that is a tough break because no fast repairs here tonight, so it's going to be a tough break for Martinez, who now has some more damage aboard that machine. And you'll see here, Range is a very late cut to pit road. Let's see if I can find a little bit better angle. Here we go. Watch how late this cut is by Zach Range. I imagine maybe a late call by his teammates. They see the leaders start to pit, and all of a sudden they're thinking, oh boy, well now we have to pit too to catch the strategy. And as Range cuts across the back end of Martinez, Martinez on the brakes trying to get down to pit speed, and Range gets to the back of him. Slides him sideways. Is going to collect Martinez here again, and Logan York, not much he can do as he's trying to get slowed down for pit road. He gets on the side of Zach Range's machine, and this is a traffic jam. As Range slides backwards, he's going to block more of the track. Same with Martinez, and you see Aubrey Thompson go on by. Richard Elliott go on by. Here comes McClendon. Just not really much you can do. He's got the tires all locked up. All four locked. You see Baste. He's already committed to a line. He has to dive out of the way. I don't think there's much damage on his truck. I don't think there's much damage on any of these trucks. Not very high-speed collisions here. But regardless, these trucks all involved on pit road. We'll try to find one more angle of this pit commit here. I imagine the fan cam may give us the best look. It does give us a pretty good look. You see the 043, the bright black and green truck. You see him cut across to right to left, and right there is the contact on the left rear. And it's enough where he gets Martinez out of shape, probably scares him a little bit, I would think, as well. Martinez, I imagine he was not prepared for contact right there. Range gets to the back of him, and he locks it down immediately. And as he locks it down, the track gets blocked right on the entry of pit road, and This is the result on our first pit cycle of the night. All these trucks, I think, escape without much damage. York may have some front-end damage from that collision right there. I don't think Range has much, if any, rear-end damage there. McClendon, some front-end damage. Based may have just glanced off the side of Martinez. I don't think he has any major damage either. In fact, Martinez looked initially like he lost his bumper, and the bumper is back on that truck. Job, I don't think there's any major damage on any of these trucks. They were all down to pit speed, so probably not any major damage on any of those trucks. But regardless, an unfortunate start to the night for several of our front-running drivers. So we are ready to re-rack and restack. I can tell you Martinez and Range will get their laps back right here, I believe. Dallas Knox. Hang on just a minute. He went to follow him around the pace car, realizes, uh-oh, I'm already on the lead lap. I'm leading the race, and he has to come to a stop. Regardless, we'll get ready to re-rack, restack. 32 laps to go. We go back green. Dallas Knox, Aubrey Thompson on row number 1. Tyler Hickory. Strong run last week. Strong run so far tonight. Up 22 spots. He'll roll 3rd. Richard Elliott will be 4th. Row 3 will be Cole Fitzpatrick, David Sheets. Row 4 will be Jimmy Shelton, Harrison Whitehead. Mark Vondell, Danny Barnes. Round out the top 10. Good to see everybody in chat. John Darnell, I believe, out there in chat. Good to see you out on track, brother. As always, running 13th right now in the 99. Mike Ward rooting for Hyper Motorsports. Hyper, so far, pretty good run. Danny Barnes has led some laps, look very strong. See if he can get back to the front of the field. Got a Cole Fitzpatrick fan in the chat tonight. Cole running very strong so far. Outside row 2. Position number 4. And, well, he's not working tonight. He's clocked out till 5 weeks from now, but 4 weeks from now, excuse me. But you know we could not have a Monday night race without Trevor Osbornoth, and he actually gave us the report from the pit box for Ryan Baste. No damage on the 73. Good to go. Ryan Baste, all good, and that's what it looked like on that replay, as he just maybe scraped Christian Martinez. I don't think he had much damage on either truck, but Trevor, good to see you. Hope you're enjoying your nights off for the next 4 weeks. As he and his teammate Dustin Carruthers root on their KSR teammates in the field tonight, including the 73 of Ryan Baste. See if any of them can lock in, join their teammates in the final race of the season. Dallas Knox, Aubrey Thompson bring us back into the restart zone. Green flag back in the air, and we're back underway here on lap number 19. 6 laps from halfway home. Potentially down to a 1 pit stop race now with a long caution. Quick clear by Aubrey Thompson. He's down across Dallas Knox. Fitzpatrick now reeling, waiting for some help. He'll get some here in the form of Jimmy Shelton. How about the 21 so far tonight? Dallas Knox wasting no time up in front of Cole Fitzpatrick. What a move by that driver. And I can tell you they are running together, so communication certainly involved there. Fitzpatrick on the back of his teammate Dallas Knox. Chris Knighty as well running with them. Forged Racing, the name of their team. Aubrey Thompson goes back to the lead here in 3 and 4. Tyler Hickory doing an excellent job of pushing. The outside starts to surge one more time. Here comes the X-side Silverado. Dallas Knox trying to get back to the front. He's got his teammate behind him as well as Jimmy Shelton. Bottom line rolling good, though. Thompson, Hickory, Elliott, David Sheets, Harrison Whitehead lined up nose to tail on the bottom. Raymond Hanneman starting to make his way through the field up top. Same with Mark Vondell as he has made his way back to the front. Larry McDonald is making his way forward as well. Several drivers starting to push the issue just a little bit. About 5 laps short of halfway. Into 3 and 4. Thompson, Knox side by side, door to door, wheel to wheel. Elbows out. And I'll tell you what, it's very similar to last week's race. The fact that we had 2 wide racing a lot of last week, and we have it again tonight, where these guys are 2x2 racing like it's the last run of the race. Still a pit stop to go, potentially 2. I think they can make it on 1, though. It'll be very close. especially the guys that are able to run towards the tail end of the pack and ride a little bit, save a little bit of gas. They should theoretically be able to make this race on one more stop. Now, the guys leading the race right now, Dallas Knox and Aubrey Thompson, maybe not so much. It's a little bit closer for those two. 3 wide further back, Zach Range. He's got a truck all over the back of him. I cannot tell who that is off the top of my head. I think it might be Christian Martinez. And if it is, then put those rumors to bed. There's any kind of major damage on the back of that one, because they're rolling the top. They're making it work. Trying to make some moves. I imagine Logan York will take it up in front of Zach Range here if they are able to get that look here. They're not. Martinez doing an excellent job pushing on the back of Zach Range. They need a third truck. They're going to make it work, though. So far, only 2. Knox to the lead. Fitzpatrick now leads the top with Jimmy Shelton and David Sheets, who's transitioned up from the bottom. Knox with Aubrey Thompson behind him. Lap trucks up ahead. Michael Clay is up ahead of the field running along the yellow line. He is about to go 1 lap down. Ron Morris has already gone a lap down and is running at the tail end of the lead draft. So 1 car about to go a lap down, 1 car already a lap down. Trouble. Further back, it's Joey Galati. He's involved with 1 more truck at the tail end of the field. And that appears to be Heath Job in the 760. Tucker McClendon involved as well. And once again, under caution here for the second time tonight on lap number 23. And if it wasn't a one-stop race before, it certainly is now. And it's Galati going to pull to a stop here, I believe, on the apron. So some potential big damage here on the 14. Did not catch this one. It was the tail end of your camera frame. McClendon to his outside and some right rear net code. That is a massive hit. 14 of Galati wallops the outside wall. Actually bounces up on 2 wheels. Actually got all 4 off the ground. And I believe Heath Job going to be an innocent bystander here. And for the second time in this race, Heath Job involved in a crash that did not start with him. Luckily, at least on our monitor here, he appears to be okay. Does not appear to have any major damage. Now, it cannot be said for Joey Galati. He's got big-time damage aboard that machine, so I don't know if it'll be a night ender, but big damage. You'll see it right here. You'll see what I'm talking about. As McClendon gets to the right rear quarter panel, that is a no-no spot on these trucks. It's been the most sensitive part of these trucks for the past about 6 or 7 months now. You get on the right rear, you get some net code where there's registered contact, but perhaps when you look back at the replay or even in the truck, in the cockpit, you might not see any contact. It might look like they're about a foot or 2 apart, but regardless, the iRacing mechanics read contact, and that brings the 2 trucks together. Unfortunately for Joey Galati and Tucker McClendon, that results in a pretty major incident here on lap number 22. We're going to go on board with McClendon. I want you to kind of, we may have to go to the cockpit actually to get a pretty good view of this. I want you to watch. This is what he's seeing here as he goes into the corner. And watch. You see, it doesn't really look like there's any contact there. We'll go back and I'll show it in slow motion for you so you can pinpoint exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what he's seeing as the driver in his own cockpit. Galati comes up. You can see right there, it may look like they make contact. There's about where they would make contact. But by the time they realize it, there's already some registered contact. And unfortunately, for both of these trucks, it sends them spinning. Ryan Baste, my goodness, how did he get by that one? Close call. There's Job. Actually, great angle here out the front of Tucker McClendon. Unfortunately, that one's going to collect him. We'll go on board with Ryan Baste. One last angle of this one and kind of see how he maneuvered his way through. On board with Ryan Baste. Oh, hang a left, get down to the grass. Do a little bit of yard work down there to get away from this one. Ryan Baste lucky to miss that one. That would have been a night ender for sure if he had gotten involved in that one. Baste lives to see another lap and will remain in the race. Aubrey Thompson up front. We're 1 lap short of halfway home. Dallas Knox to his outside for the upcoming restart in the 99. Tyler Vickery, David Sheets, Harrison Whitehead, your top 5. Jimmy Shelton Richard Elliott, Raymond Hanneman, Danny Barnes, and John Darnell round out the top 10 for the upcoming restart, which will be right at halfway. It'll be 25 up, 25 to go when we get back going. I want to thank everybody again for coming out. Pretty good audience here. It's very late. It's about to be Tuesday morning. But what else is new for this series? As we will race into the wee hours of the morning, if that's what it takes to crown a winner and send 3 drivers on a 4-week vacation as they prepare for the championship race. We find out who drivers 4, 5, and 6 will be in that event. Looking in the chat once again as we get racked up 2x2 to go back green one more time. Trevor Hosrenoth says that they would rather be racing. I know they said the same thing last week in our post-race interviews where we got to talk to the 3 drivers. All 3 kind of said they wish they could race, get the momentum, keep the momentum going from that finish to open the season, as well as they just love racing. A lot of these guys race all the time, race every day into the night, several hours a day, so I completely understand the desire to keep on racing, and this is fun racing as well. I mean, how many great moments have we seen in this series? So I don't blame them at all for maybe not wanting the 5-week vacation, but hey, they get it regardless. We'll see them again in the championship race at the end of the season. And Dustin Carruthers chimes in with some trash talk. Not surprising, I don't think, from the Week 1 winner. Now, I believe, if I've counted right, a 5-time winner in this series. About the only prize. The only prize left for Dustin Carruthers would be that championship at the end of the season in this series. We'll see if we can get the job done in about 4 weeks from now. And another report from the 73 box. And all the report says is just the cringe emoji for Ryan Bass. So, close call with the driver of the 73. But hey, he's still going forward. And stays out of that one, which was about 1.5 feet from a very different result for Ryan Bass. But he is still in this one. Still very much alive and a very big threat later on in this race. We saw what he did last week. We've seen what he's done before, and he is itching to get in that championship race with his teammates. He's got some work to do at the tail end of this field, though, and up front, some guys have been running well. Aubrey Thompson, Dallas Knox going to bring us back into the restart zone. We are halfway home. The cross flags as Barney the Flagman waves the green flag. 25 up, 25 down, and 25 to go here from Talladega Super Speedway. Thompson, huge lead on the restart sheets. Almost clear of Dallas Knox. May get it right here in turns 1 and 2. If he so chooses, I imagine he would. Lean in, but Whitehead to the back of Dallas Knox. They're going to keep David Cheats in line. And here comes the run from Knox in the 99. Whitehead all over the back bumper of him. As they get him to second, they get him even with the leader. Dallas Knox pokes the nose out front one more time here into turn number 3. Whitehead, Elliott along with him. Danny Barnes as well is lurking here with 25 laps to go. Jimmy Shelton, Raymond Hanneman, Larry McDonald also lurking as well. Several drivers in the mix. Several more with some work to do, but plenty of time to do it. One more pit stop to go for these guys. At some point in this last run, I imagine we would see them at the end of the pit run, which would be at about lap 40. With about 10 laps to go for the money stop, although the window does open in 8 to 9 laps. We'll see if guys decide to short pit tonight or if they run the tank dry and just hope to get the best pit stop. Perhaps big groups coming to pit road. Perhaps we'll see a split strategy. I love these types of races. Pit strategy races are awesome. They're very fun to watch, very fun to call, and very fun to race in. Whitehead to the outside as Knox drops to the bottom into the race lead. Oh, Knox gets turned on the bumper of Aubrey Thompson. Somehow keeps that truck underneath him. It's going to allow Whitehead to go to the lead now with the help of Richard Elliott, Danny Barnes. Larry McDonald going to cycle forward a spot here. If Whitehead can get clear of the bottom, he's going to be awfully close. Running a little bit high, though, and Knox may stay to his left side number. He does. Still 2x2. 23 laps to go. Window for pits open at about 7 laps. They are pushing hard. Aubrey Thompson all over the back deck lid of the 99 of Dallas Knox. Whitehead getting a strong push from Richard Elliott up top. Still no one's tested the top line yet. Gotta imagine it'll come into play. I don't see guys like Cole Fitzpatrick, Zach Range, Christian Martinez, Logan York, Ron Morris, Austin Green. I don't see guys like that riding where they are right now. They're going to have to get to the front somehow. And if not on pit stops, that third lane going to be used very, very shortly. Through the travel one more time, Thompson to the top line here in front of Harrison Whitehead. He will lead at the line this time. And as he drops down across Dallas Knox's front bumper, he'll give us an opportunity to admire that paint job, a Davey Allison inspired paint job. And how cool is this? A Davey Allison paint scheme leading the field at Talladega. Harrison Whitehead, though, going to cut that party short here for a moment as he jumps to the outside again. Retakes the lead. Another guy I fully expect to get into that championship race. One of my preseason picks of guys to watch in this series. Has a couple of teammates in the field tonight, and John Darnell and Raymond Hanneman that are working with him. So Harrison Whitehead trying to make it work, trying to get in that championship race. As we have 21 laps to go. As we hit lap number 30, the window going to open here very shortly. About 5 laps, maybe 4 if you want to stretch that last tank. 5 for sure, 6 if you really want to be sure on overtime attempts. Which in the case of last week, we did have a few. Off turn number 4 one more time. Thompson, Whitehead, elbow to elbow. Here as we hit the travel once again, Whitehead now a big push from behind by Richard Elliott in the 0-2. Not going to get clear. They get separated just a little bit, and that allows Aubrey Thompson to fight right back to the bottom with the help of Dallas Knox. This could get very interesting if it stays too wide. We know a pit stop is coming. Question will be, when do they decide to make that pit stop? Come for their final round of green flag service. Still nobody up in the third line. Both lines stacked up pretty well. Right as I say that, Mark Vondell jumps out, but nobody goes with him. Up to the top goes Aubrey Thompson. He's going to maintain lanes now, try to cool off Dallas Knox. His pusher for the longest time since the restart. So Thompson will regain the lead. No, maybe not. Knox getting a nice push on the bottom from David Sheets in the 1. A winner last season, participated in that final race. In fact, I believe won our season opener last season in Season 2. Participated in that final race, looking to go back to that race in back-to-back seasons. In contention to do so right now. Knox back out to the lead. Thompson wants it right back. Onto the super stretch once again. We are 3 laps from the pit window opening, probably about 9 laps from the most likely pit lap for our leaders. Thompson down across Dallas Knox. Whitehead once again able to cool off and lead the top one more time. Guys on the move. Further back, Danny Barnes has found his way back to the front. Same with Cole Fitzpatrick. Zach Range has gone bottom to top as he looks to make up some track position. Danny Barnes up 17 spots. Jimmy Shelton up 18 spots. John Darnell up 12 spots from their starting positions. We got trouble further back. Ron Morris is off the racetrack. I believe he's going to keep it going. Everybody going to be able to stay green and stay in the gas. We'll take a look at what happened to Ron Morris if we get another caution. Knox loose. Going to break the bottom up just the slightest bit. 18 laps to go at Talladega. Now all of a sudden a brand new line leading the top. Danny Barnes charging back to the front. The red, white, and blue number 7 for Hyper Motorsports. Larry McDonald. Cole Fitzpatrick in line with him. Chris Knighty is starting to make his way back to the front, along with Michael Clay, who's back on the lead lap. We bypass pit road. The window will be open here in about 2 more circuits around Talladega. We'll be able to make it to the end if drivers choose to pit. 17 laps remaining at the line. Harrison Whitehead continues to lead the way. Michael Clay up on the outside up against the safer barrier. The first to try 3 wide, but no help. So not really able to make it work. Bottom rolls huge through turns 1 and 2. It's Whitehead with Elliott all over his back bumper. Barnes, McDonald, Fitzpatrick, Knighty, and Raymond Hanneman now up top. He is 5th in the top lane. Austin Green and Logan York going to try the third lane, but it doesn't work for him. They got to fade back in line. Fitzpatrick drops top to bottom. They're getting ready for pit stops here at Talladega. And the more I see these guys drop to the bottom, the more I think they may try to pit early. Green, York, up on the top. They've got Jack Hignite with them. Now they dive back in. Hang Hignite out to dry. Singling out here at Talladega. Guys finding spots in line. Trying to make things work. Barnes in line in front of his teammate Larry McDonald. Will they pit as soon as the window opens? What a great strategy call. I feel like this would be. Short pitting typically has worked in the past. Will it work tonight? Do we have drivers that want to do it? Austin Green, Logan York definitely don't want to do it. Same with Tucker McClendon. I think they want to get some more track position. Maybe pit late, trying to run some good laps and break the rest of the field here on this pit stop. Off turn number 4, the window is officially open. Does anybody take it this time? No, they do not. They stay put. Everybody stays on the racetrack. There'll be at least one more lap before our final round of green flag pit stops here tonight. Decent chance this thing goes to the wire under the green flag if we get to this last round of pit stops. If the field ends up broken up, which I think it would have on that first round of green flag pit stops, it may break the field up enough. We may not see the yellow flag one more time. 3 wide further back. They looked 4 wide for a second. Austin Green's got help coming in the form of Tucker McClendon and Jimmy Shelton. Whitehead, Elliott continue to lead on the bottom. Chris Knighty leads in the middle with Raymond Hanneman. The teammates, excuse me, not the teammates tonight. The 222, the 85 working together. Third lane trying to get it going. I just don't think they have the help. Another lap past pit road. Still no takers. They're going to go at least one more. 14 laps to go from Talladega. They are well inside the window now. Green going to have to bail, go up and around, try to get a spot in line as we get ready for pit stops. Chris Knighty, a big charge, contact. Aubrey Thompson, Zach Range, Raymond Hanneman, Chris Knighty all get together. Everybody keeps it going. We stay green. Knighty, I imagine, will just drop in line here in front of Aubrey Thompson. Now the field really starting to single out. Michael Clay, the first driver up in the top line, is 7th on the racetrack. About to lose that spot to Zach Range. Whitehead, Elliott, Hanneman have broken away here from Chris Knighty by about 2 car lengths. Off turn number 4, 14 laps to go. Well inside the window. Here comes some pit stops. Richard Elliott to pit road. Aubrey Thompson to pit road. One more truck with him. Looks to be Christian Martinez to pit road. First round of pit stops is underway with 13 laps to go. So one group decides to short pit. They're going to be good to go here from the end. They got 3 trucks. They may be able to do something big here. Lead pack, I imagine, will start to respond here this time by. We'll see if they pit or if they decide to just go for it and run the tank dry. Imagine they can go with about 3 more laps if they choose to go and run the tank out. Now, I'll tell you what that did pitting early is that group of 3 took less gas than these guys will have to take if they do choose to run it out. Off turn 4, 13 laps to go. Big group of pit stops. Whitehead, Hanneman, Knighty, York, Range, Fitzpatrick, McClendon, Knox, Ryan Baste, and John Darnell, the second group on pit road. And now that leaves one group left to pit, and it is the following drivers, and they will have to pit probably the next 2 laps. Michael Clay has inherited the lead here in the 33. Tyler Vickery, David Sheets, Jimmy Shelton, Danny Barnes, Larry McDonald, Mark Vondell, Austin Green, Heath Joe, Bobby Forbes, and Jack Hignite. Although Hignite has lost this pack, he's lost the draft. 10 trucks still have the draft. They will look to beat that first group off pit road. If they want to do it, I imagine they'll have to pit right here. That's a good group of trucks that just came off of pit road. And here they come. Is it the rest of them? Yes, it will be. Tyler Vickery aggressive onto pit road. Will he get it slowed up? I believe he did. Vickery and Sheets, excellent execution getting onto pit road. Everybody able to get on, no harm, no foul. Now, we will await that last group to come to pit road, and they are separated. Whitehead, York, and Range have bypassed Aubrey Thompson, Christian Martinez, and that first group to come to pit road. We await that last group. They're leaving now. Tyler Vickery is first off pit road. Whitehead is into the tri-oval. Will they blend? Richard Elliott, Aubrey Thompson look up to the outside. Heath Job, some trouble for him here. A couple others have had trouble. Some of the guys that just pit have had trouble, and that is going to bring the caution flag out. Heath Job, David Sheets, and a couple of other drivers have had problems here getting off of pit road, and right as it looked like they had the best strategy, unfortunately for them, their night is going to take a turn for the worst as they came off pit road. Let's see what happened here. Not sure what happens to Sheets. So we see Job come off pit road. I believe he's just going to spin the tires here. So the rear tires spin for Heath Job, and wow. He goes for a slide. Now what happens behind him? I believe some contact here between Shelton and Sheets. Yeah, right there. Going for the same piece of real estate, the apron. Tough to negotiate on an exit of a pit stop, and they come together and spin. It all stayed on the apron, so quick trigger on the caution. Not surprised it came out. Some chaos there with that group coming off pit road. Certainly feel like with the area that this took place in and in front of other drivers. So we'll take another look as they go for the same piece of real estate here. Actually, we'll go to the TV follow camera. You see Job spin. Sheets, I think, is number one, avoiding that. Number two, just trying to get up towards the yellow line, which is the best line around the apron. And as he comes up, you don't get spotter calls on the apron. I can tell you that much right now. From racing in these super speedway races, I can tell you, you do not, at least I don't, get spotter calls when you come off pit road. So right there, probably just an instance of, he's in your blind spot a little bit. We'll actually take a ride on board with David Sheets. I'll show you exactly what I mean. As he comes out of his pit box. Actually has to back up just a little bit. Now he comes out of his box, and watch this. He comes out of nowhere. Oh, his tires are spinning too a little bit. And you see right there, all of a sudden the 21 comes into view, and he gets into him. It appears to me as if his tires were spinning. So perhaps a problem for David Sheets, just like Heath Job. Maybe the tire's spinning a little bit. Here's with Heath Job. Oh, yeah, big time. The rears are spinning all kinds of different ways there for Heath Job as he came off pit road. So some wheel spin. And two guys going for the same piece of real estate. And that is what has brought out our third caution of the night. Inside of 10 laps to go. I'll tell you what, next up, I'm not sure with where that happens, with trucks coming along behind. Also, the possibility that that first group to pit had just gotten to that group coming off pit road. I know these two trucks spin to the apron, but if you lock it down, if you overcorrect when you come together, you come right back out in front of the leaders. So I almost understand the caution call, but you put it in slow motion and give it some hindsight. Perhaps could have avoided a caution there, but regardless, it has put us under our third yellow of the night. Inside of 10 laps to go, and it'll set us up for an entertaining late race restart where the field has been completely shuffled. I mean, that caught us right as those groups blended. Literally, as the group led by Harrison Whitehead was getting ready to pass this group that had just come off pit road, the caution flag flew, and so it is shaking up the running order in a big way. So we'll reset it for you. Tyler Vickery, a solo driver tonight, has inherited the lead on this late race restart after the pit run. Austin Green benefited as well from that caution, like I talked about a little bit with him and Logan York, that they might wait, try to get some track position on the pit stop. Well, Austin Green does that and now runs in the second position. Mark Vondell, Larry McDonald as well, benefiting from the pit stop. They run third and fourth. Michael Clay, he got back on the lead lap about 15 laps ago after our last caution, and all of a sudden, he runs fifth. So Michael Clay's in the mix here late. Danny Barnes benefits from the caution. So does Bobby Forbes. He's in a pretty good spot. Jack Hignite had just lost the draft. Now he's going to inherit 8th. A big caution for him as well. And then row 5 will be Whitehead and Elliott that were leading that group that I don't know if they were going to break away from that last pit stop group, but they certainly were going to make it tough. I mean, they were passing them on the apron of turn number 1. I don't know if that last group would have caught their draft. It might have been home free for about 6 trucks to race for 3 spots. But alas, the caution flag flies, and now we're into the patented Talladega Superspeedway late race restarts that we've known so well in the Little Guys Series over the last 2 seasons. We had several restarts in last week's race, including a couple overtime attempts. We'll see if we do need those tonight. 3 available to us. Should we need them, if we get inside 5 laps to go and have a caution, we will send this race into overtime. And we have 3 attempts at that overtime, should we need any of them. For now, only 7 laps remain, though. If they get to the white flag, this race is official. We will race it back no matter what happens. No last lap cautions here. We race back to the line. So, 3 drivers will get in. There are 26 on the lead lap. Joey Galati, the only one that's not. He's multiple laps down in 27th. In fact, I believe he's just called his night to an end here inside of 10 laps to go. So 26 trucks on track, 26 on the lead lap, vying for 3 spots in the championship race in 4 weeks' time. Tyler Vickery, the solo driver. What a story it would be if he could win this race and make his way into that championship event. Austin Green looking to get the job done and go back to the championship race for the 2nd straight season. Into the restart zone, 7 laps to go. Green flag is back in the air. Up through the gears they go, off towards turn number 1. Vickery has the better help. McDonald did not get a great restart. He's going to get right up to the back bumper of Austin Green now as they hit turn number 1. Climb up onto the banking, do these Craftsman trucks. Vickery now clear. Will Vondell be able to push himself clear? I don't believe so. Austin Green will now have a monster run on the outside. As we hit the Alabama Gang Super Stretch, McDonald all over him. Up on the outside, Richard Elliott, Aubrey Thompson, the first to make a move. They try to come forward in the 3rd lane. Does anybody go with him? Yes, Cole Fitzpatrick now dives back in line. Chris Knighty trying to go with him, but no help. Those boys are coming towards the front still, though. Who cares if we have help? We're going to go do it anyway. Thompson pushing very well. Whitehead trying to join them up in the 3rd lane. They've got a cavalry on the way in the 3rd lane. 3 wide for the first time tonight in a big way. Whitehead up to the back bumper of Aubrey Thompson. They're still trying to get that run going as Vickery continues to lead the race. Richard Elliott is on row number 2. He's going to be up to about 3rd or 4th here when we hit the line. 6 more laps around Talladega. Aubrey Thompson doing an excellent job. Now we are 3 by 3. Make it 8 rows deep. Richard Elliott, Aubrey Thompson, Harrison Whitehead, Ryan Baste. Vickery back to the bottom. He's going to get a nice run as that top's going to kill the middle just a little bit. Will Elliott be able to get clear of Austin Green? He starts to come down, now fades back up, now has to go down. He has no choice, goes all the way to the bottom. Leaves Thompson out to lead the top with Harrison Whitehead. Richard Elliott to the lead at Talladega with 6 laps to go. These guys are racing like crazy. In turns 3 and 4, it's already starting to get a little bit nuts here at the front. Richard Elliott drifted up just a little bit. Got to stay in line. Fitzpatrick loose a little further back. Aubrey Thompson now pokes the nose out front. The American 500 winner. What can he do with 5 laps to go? Will he get clear of the middle? I believe he will. Whitehead does a great job. Elliott's all over the place. Does Thompson go down and retrieve his teammate? No, stays middle in front of Austin Green. Whitehead leads the top. Great pusher behind him in the form of Ryan Baste. Still 3 by 3, several rows deep at Talladega with 5 laps to go. Now Whitehead will get the push down the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. Does he get enough to get clear of the top? Ryan Baste all over the back of him, trying to get him clear. Off into 3. One more time. Whitehead not able to get clear unless Thompson drops down to the help of his teammate. He will not. He'll stay up, trying to block Whitehead, keep him up on the top side. Thompson continues to lead. Elliott leads the bottom. Whitehead leads the top side. The top side falls apart just a little bit now as they exit turn number 4. Head back towards the start-finish line again. Side by side of the teammates, Aubrey Thompson and Richard Elliott. Boy, they love to finish this one like this. I just don't think they're going to get lucky enough for that. 4 more laps around Talladega. One truck loose in the back. That's Christian Martinez. He's trying to join this cavalry as well. Raymond Hanneman's joined the third line. I believe Ron Morris has also joined the third line. And he has. Still Elliott and Thompson. Here comes another charge from Harrison Whitehead up on the outside. 90 all over the place. Trouble. Around goes Larry McDonald right in the middle of the field. That's going to bring out a caution, I do believe. It does. McDonald back into the outside wall. Collects Zach Range. And a couple of others involved as well. And caution flag flies. Inside of 5 laps to go. And that will send us to overtime. I mean, just insane racing here as we hit the backstretch. Gonna try to find a decent angle of this. I don't know if we will. This one might be pretty good. As they came off turn number 2, Ron Morris gets into the left rear of Chris Knighty. They're going to be briefly 4 wide. Oh, man, some really bad right rear net code there between McDonald and Morris. McDonald sandwiches Knighty into the wall, then comes back left, and this is worst case scenario for these guys. Hignite, York involved. Bobby Forbes is involved. McDonald trying to save the truck, has it all the way in the gas, and I believe he's going to get tagged here by Zach Range. That's going to bring them back across the speedway. Hard hit there from McDonald. Martinez, I believe, gets into it as well. They're in the 1. Boy, tough break for several drivers here. Try to take another look at it here. And this was kind of a tough one to catch. We'll go to the chopper. I'll show you what I was talking about with Knighty and Morris. The chopper may not give us a ton here either. Oh, yeah, it will. So watch Morris and Knighty there. Middle of your screen, the 76 is following the line. Knighty gets out of line for a split second, and as Morris fills the gap, they were briefly 4 wide. Knighty didn't know it. Comes down across Morris, and then some really, really bad right rear net code between McDonald and Morris. That's a really tough break for those trucks. I mean, that was 3 or 4 feet. That was some of the most I have seen. I believe Michael Clay. That's Michael Clay in the 33. He gets involved as well. There's Forbes. Dallas Knox involved. John Darnell scoots by, but Fitzpatrick not as lucky. They're left side of your screen. We'll actually go back and focus on Fitzpatrick here. See what the damage is on that machine. He's running back here right in front of John Darnell. He dives to the apron. Unfortunately, just not going to quite dive low enough. I mean, he's about as far left as you can get. And unfortunately, as Clay bounces off the wall, he's going to collect the 5 of Fitzpatrick right there. And, excuse me, the 12 of Fitzpatrick. Knox gets into him as well. I don't think he has a ton of damage. He may still be able to get it going. We'll go on board with Ron Morris, as he's currently on the pit lane, but we'll go on board with him. I'll show you again another example of what I'm talking about. We'll go back here to the beginning of the incident. You'll also see Chris Knighty. So watch as Morris follows that third line. Knighty way out of line. Morris goes to fill the gap, and I mean, that's just contact that's not really supposed to happen. Morris, unfortunately, nothing he can do, and actually, he's got some pretty serious damage. He's got wheel damage. That truck is crab walking as he climbs the banking into turn 3. So a tough break there for Ron Morris. And so everybody take a breath, as that was nuts there for a second. Incredible racing. Seemed like there was no end to the great racing there at the front. And so take a quick breath. Maybe the last one you get, as we will head into overtime for the first time tonight. Our first of 3 potential attempts at an overtime finish. I believe on all 3, a caution flag is able to come out. I believe it might be on the 3rd attempt that We are able to run it all the way out if the crash is not within range of the top 3 positions. So if it's a crash at the back, we are going to race it out on the 3rd attempt, I do believe. If not, if a caution is triggered on the final attempt, the finishing order and top 3 advancing to the championship race will be decided by the moment of caution, as well as iRacing scoring. If we get to the white flag, you can forget everything I just said. And so we will get ready to see who will lock in here tonight at Talladega in round number 2 of this season. And we are ready to get this one back going. We'll restack it for you. Harrison Whitehead will lead the field to green. Aubrey Thompson will roll from the outside of row number 1. Richard Elliott, Thompson's teammate, will roll from the inside of row number 2 in third. KSR's Ryan Baste in a really good spot after that caution. Now finds himself in one of the best positions on the racetrack. Lead pusher in the middle on this restart in fourth. Row 3, Austin Green. And the 87, a similar spot to where he was last week on the final restart, where he's going to have to just try to find a gap to get himself up into the second lane. And Tyler Hickory, keeping the story alive, third on the outside lane. The solo driver looks to lock his way in. Row 4 will be Danny Barnes and Mark Vondell, 2 strong trucks that have run well tonight. In row 5, Chris Knighty and Raymond Hanneman. 24 trucks on track and on the lead lap. All 24 have a chance to vie for 3 spots. Will this be the final restart of the night? Overtime attempt number 1. Harrison Whitehead, Aubrey Thompson, Richard Elliott, Ryan Baste ready to get us back underway. It's 2 laps to go. Green flag. Green, white, checkered attempt number 1 is underway. It's a great start for the outside. Aubrey Thompson got a heck of a jump with the help of Ryan Baste, who I think is personally in the best spot right here to at the very least finish in the top 3. If not, go win this thing. Top will roll huge. Thompson gets a huge run. Decision time. Do you take the bottom in front of Whitehead? Do you stay up in the middle? Top side rolling. Raymond Hanneman decides to go to work. David Cheech jumps back in line. Can Hanneman find a spot in front of him? Ooh, just barely. Top line working again. Baste turns left. Thompson blocks him to the apron. Baste gets turned. Right in front of the whole field. Whitehead involved. Another crash. More trucks involved. Martinez involved. He slams the outside while Logan York goes for a spin. Who's going to get out of this one? Baste, Morris, Job, Elliott, Whitehead, Darnell. This is a massive wreck. Tyler Hickory involved. And smoke pouring out the back of the 124. It's better to say who's not involved. Wow. We got a lot to unpack on this one as we're headed to overtime attempt number 2. And I believe for the second week in a row, Ryan Baste is going to come up just short as he gets turned to the outside wall. It was a great move into turn number 3. It was a move I thought for sure was going to work. In fact, I'll tell you what, I think it does work. Down the Alabama Gang super stretch. I don't know what the best view of this one is going to be. It might be TV follow again. We'll use this one for a moment. This will actually be a pretty good view here. Looking out from turn number 3, you'll see Baste. He's going to hang a left here going into 3. This is a great move. Now, I don't know how much help he would have had with Harrison Whitehead on the bottom. They were fading in a big way. But they were there. Baste hangs a left. And now we'll try to see here. Is he there? I do believe he is. Unfortunately, for him and Whitehead, they come together. I believe it was some right Renette code that brings them together. And this is a monster hit. Danny Barnes, Hickory up in the air, Baste up in the air. Elliott gets turned by Raymond Hanneman. They wreck again up front. We'll take a look at that one in a moment. Wow, John Darnell, my goodness, a massive hit to the right side of that truck. Pieces, parts flying everywhere. Jimmy Shelton gets into it. Job gets into it. I mean, this is almost half the field, I believe, involved in some kind of accident right here. Dallas Knox. I don't think he's going to get as lucky either. No, he T-bones John Darnell. Tayshawn McGaney might escape this one relatively unscathed. Michael Clay trying to come to a stop. Same with Jack Hignite. Man, this is a tough one because, and you'll probably see right here. Well, again, I don't even think you can really see it on this one either. Trying to find a little bit better angle of this. About TV4. Well, that one's probably not going to help either. Well, it might. Based. I mean, he's got the nose there. It's very close. Actually, a lot closer on that angle than I thought it was. I thought he had the entire nose to the inside of Aubrey Thompson. He certainly is there. He's got the bumper out to the left rear of Aubrey Thompson. Thompson goes to throw a block. It's a little bit late. A half second too late. And unfortunately for a lot of trucks in this field, that block by Thompson triggers a massive, massive crash. Actually, multiple crashes. We'll go here to the second wreck that involved Richard Elliott and Raymond Hanneman. This happens just after the wreck at the front of the field. So you'll see Based and Whitehead come together. It's mostly netcode here. Yeah, you see they don't actually get together. Based, I think, was going to be able to hold it down there. And you'll see them go to the outside wall. Hanneman trying to avoid it. I believe gets some contact from David Sheets. He and Richard Elliott come together. They are going to slide up into the outside wall. Elliott pounds the wall. John Darnell pounds the wall. Raymond Hanneman's got some damage. York goes for a slide. We'll go up here to Logan York. I believe he's okay. He collects Christian Martinez, who you'll see, you saw him pound the outside wall when we were in our live shot. York, does he get the wall? He does not, so he's still all good. Jimmy Shelton, Tucker McClendon coming along. Does McClendon miss this? Oh, Logan York may not be as good as I thought, as McClendon is going to T-bone him pretty good right here. So McClendon into the side of Logan York. Boy, a lot to unpack out of that one. Certainly one will probably be thinking about for a long ways the rest of the season. That certainly had some implications on who was going to finish in the top three. And you can tell just by the field that's left how many trucks that one took with it. Nights are over for Larry McDonald and Cole Fitzpatrick. I believe also Tyler Vickery's night is over as well. Nights are over, I believe, also for Richard Elliott, Danny Barnes, Ryan Based, John Darnell, and Christian Martinez. Not Martinez. Martinez sits on pit road, as does Barnes, Based, and Darnell, Richard Elliott, and Ron Morris as well. So their nights are not technically over, but they are multiple laps down, and with overtime, number 2 on the board, not going to have enough time, I believe, to get back in this one. So with no fast repair there, nights are essentially done. And so here we go, overtime number 2. We'll rattle it off for you very quickly. Aubrey Thompson, Raymond Hanneman are on the front row. Austin Green, David Sheets will be on row 2. Mark Vondell, Jimmy Shelton on row 3. Dallas Knox, Logan York on row number 4. Michael Clay, Bobby Forbes on row 5. The rest of the trucks out there right now: Jack Hignite, Chris Knighty, Tucker McClendon, Zach Range, Harrison Whitehead, Heath Job, and Tayshawn McGaney's trying to catch the field. I don't know if he will be able to in time. 17 trucks left for 3 spots. Overtime number 2. Green flag is in the air. 2 laps to go. Let's try it one more time from Talladega. Raymond Hanneman got a nice jump, but his help did not. Meanwhile, on the bottom, Aubrey Thompson got a great jump, and so did his help. Austin Green is to him, and Austin will get clear, but here, top line's not rolling. If I'm Austin, I think I stay put. He will wait for the run to come to him. Does Hanneman have the truck to go up there and win this race? Vondell now clear behind Austin Green. They're McCullough Motorsports teammates, and they're going to look for it. Austin Green, the green goes to the outside of Aubrey Thompson. Thompson waiting on help. He's got some coming from Logan York, who's in the party all of a sudden. Austin Green leads the race. He will be clear to the bottom if he so chooses. He chooses to stay up in front of his teammate, Mark Vondell. Bottom side coming back now. Thompson, York, David Sheets. trouble further back. There's a couple more off, and we're going to need a third attempt at an overtime. Michael Clay involved. Tayshawn McGaney involved. I believe Zach Range may have also been involved in this one as well. And once again, we're under the caution flag at Talladega. This one happened closer to the back. Back around Michael Clay. They were 3 wide here. Zach Range, I believe, goes to split the middle here on Michael Clay, and it's going to get together with him here in the middle of turn 3. Does it right there. Gets into Tayshawn McGaney, and they're going to collect the 33 of Clay. Zach Range, maybe not the best timed move there. Understand where he was taking that. Certainly might have been his only opportunity to try to get to the front in the situation that he had been placed in after that last incident. Regardless, it results in several heavily damaged trucks now, as we'll take probably one more look at this one. Trying to get a little bit better angle here just to show you exactly what he saw. So you see the gap he's going for. It's technically there. But unfortunately gets too close to the right recorder panel of Michael Clay and gets to the right side. And is going to collect Tayshawn McGaney as an innocent bystander here. Chris 90 trying to dive out of the way is going to do just that. Oh, man, actually picks the wrong lane. Maybe gets a little bit lucky, though. We'll have to see what the damage is on Chris 90's machine. Interesting there. He might have gotten very lucky with what we often associate as basically a ghost involvement in an incident. It looks like he might have just gotten very lucky. So we go back live. McGaney continues to sit on pit road, and our final overtime attempt of the night is getting ready to go down. Attempt number 3 at an overtime finish. And so we will get ready to put him back under green for the third and final overtime attempt. And we'll re-rack the field one more time for you. Aubrey Thompson again leads, but Austin Green will now be to his outside. Mark Vondell will run third here. Raymond Hanneman scored in the 4th position. Does look that he got some repairs done to that machine. So perhaps a little bit better off than he was on the last restart. It looked like he was hurting. Oh, but I believe some problems. I think the 85 is out of gas. And I was just going to point out that that might be a problem. And it bites him here on the third overtime. So scrap that order, as Raymond Hanneman is not under his own power. He has run out of fuel on the bottom of the racetrack. So scrap that. Thompson first, Green second, Vondell third. David Sheets will now cycle forward to 4th. Jimmy Shelton, Raymond Hanneman. Well, not Raymond Hanneman. Well, now he cycles back forward. Odd. Chris Knighty hits pit road. That's admittedly an odd look. I thought for sure he wasn't under his own power there on the apron, but hey, looks to be now under his own power in the 4th position. So, all right, scrap what I just said. He's got plenty of fuel, looks like, to make the end of the race. So Thompson chooses the bottom. Leader's still all the way back to about Logan York, probably a little bit close on gas here. You wonder for Raymond Hanneman if perhaps just the truck turned off. I could not get it to refire. Obviously did get it to refire and is able to roll one more time. So Green, Thompson, Hanneman, Shelton. Hanneman, Vondell, Sheets, Shelton, Knox, Hignite, York, and Morris, I believe, are going to be your top 10. Add Bobby Forbes to that mix as well. As now only 16 remain on the racetrack. Tayshawn McGaney trying to get it going again. We're going to settle it right here. This is it. The final overtime attempt of the night. We will, I believe, race it out. I mean, we'll find out pretty quickly. I mean, we're going to find out here pretty quick. If they do crash before the white flag, we'll find out. You'll see it in your scoring tower. If the caution comes out, the race is done. The race is over. The top three by iRacing scoring at the moment of caution, when we come around to take the checkered flag, advance into the championship race. If we get to the white flag, take all those rules you just try to digest as I threw them at you, and scrap them. Throw them out the window. If we get to the white flag, this is an old-fashioned race. We're going to the checkers. Nothing fancy about it. I do believe if the crash does not affect the top three running positions, or the battle for the top three running positions, I believe this is going to be allowed to run out. We will see. You certainly hope it does. Chris Knighty, I believe, has run out of gas. The 222 at the top of your screen. He is laboring on the apron, down by the inside wall. I believe his night has come to an end as the fuel tank not able to get all the way to the end for Chris Knighty. But up front, overtime attempt number 3, the final overtime of the night. Who's going to get in? Green flag, 2 laps to go from Talladega. They already start to wreck. Now we find out very quickly, do they throw the caution? 2 laps to go at Talladega. I don't believe we're going to see a caution. Trouble further back involving Zach Range and another truck that I could not tell who that was. We keep it green. No help for Austin Green so far. He's still waiting on the help. Jimmy Shelton, Jack Ignite jump to the outside. Who jumps up? I believe it's going to be Vondell. He's going to have to go get his teammate. Trouble further back. Never mind. Up front, we're going to stay green. Sheets up in front of Green. Now, McCullough lined up on the outside. Sheets and Austin Green. Thompson continues to lead all the way to turn number 3. Austin Green trying to get to the back bumper of David Sheets, but can't do it. Mark Vondell all of a sudden is in the catbird seat. Off of turn number 4, Shelton and Hignite continue to work the third lane. What happens here off of 4? Third lane's got some cavalry. Ron Morris and Tucker McClendon trying to come to the aid of Shelton and Hignite through the trial. Well, we're going to settle it right here. White flag one more time around Talladega. New leader, David Sheets in the 1. Oh, Aubrey Thompson's run out of gas. The fuel tank is expired. He's on the apron in 1. Does Vondell have enough fuel? They bounce behind him. He may be sputtering as well. Sheets and Green. Vondell now all lined up. McCullough Motorsports could come away with a 1-2-3. Vondell trying to hold her straight. He's got Dallas Knox behind him. Trouble behind the leaders. What's going to happen here? Dallas Knox gets turned. It's 7 trucks for 3 spots. McCullough Motorsports lined up 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. They will not move. Jimmy Shelton, Jack Hignite involved as well. Where does Bobby Forbes go in this mess? He's out of gas. Off turn number 4 and down to the start-finish line. Into the tri-oval. How about this for teammates? McCullough Motorsports 1, 2, 3. David Sheets is a 2-time winner in the Little Guys Series. McCullough Motorsports backs up KSR's 1-2 last week. Says we can do one better. And finishes 1, 2, 3. David Sheets gets the victory. Austin Green, Mark Vondell will advance in as well. And when they got lined up on the bottom and guys started to run out of gas, you knew it was probably over for the rest of the field. Those 3 got hooked up and they did not leave each other's back bumpers, and they were able to get the job done 1, 2, and 3 tonight. I believe a triple truck burnout is in order. We will give them time to do just that before we get your results. And then hear from the top 3, the McCullough Motorsports drivers tonight. And here goes the triple truck burnout. Do they have enough gas to do a triple truck burnout here in the 3rd overtime? And away they go. David Sheets, your winner from Talladega. As they continue to celebrate, they may run up nose to nose here, burn the tires. As Sheets and Green give the fans some smoke here at the end of this one. What a night for these 3 drivers. In fact, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 from McCullough Motorsports. Ron Morris Jr. finishes in the 4th position. He's going to come celebrate. He got smoke piled out the back of this truck. He's going to come celebrate as well. That is a hurt race. That is a hurt vehicle for Ron Morris. But regardless, he's going to come celebrate with his teammates as well. As McCullough Motorsports gets a 1-2-3 finish, we're going to try to figure out everything that happened on this white flag lap. As these guys blow their motors, we'll quickly go through a replay of the last lap. Aubrey Thompson dives off the racetrack here as we take the white flag. He sputters. He's out. And he drops to the apron. Now look back around Dallas Knox. This is going to be the first incident as they come off turn number 2. 3 wide, Shelton, Hanneman, and Knox as they come onto the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. I don't know if Knox comes up. Maybe some contact from the top lane. I believe Knox is going to follow Vondell up the racetrack right across the nose of Raymond Hanneman. You see that right there. They come together with Jimmy Shelton. They're going to wreck Jack Hignight's going to get involved in this one. I believe Tucker McClendon as well. He's going to get tagged in this one. Actually keeps it going straight. And then they wreck again up here, either after the start-finish line. I believe it's after the start-finish line. So we'll look at this really quickly before we give you your race results. Ron Morris got to figure out how his truck ended up destroyed. He was not destroyed before. See, Bobby Forbes dives out of line. He's out of gas. I believe these guys may just wreck after the start-finish line here. So nothing there. And so with all that said and done, we'll get into your race results. Stick around to hear from your top 3 in this one. We'll get to that very shortly. Results from Talladega tonight. David Sheets wins his 2nd Little Guys Series race. His 2 teammates finish 2nd and 3rd and lock into the championship race. Austin Green in the 87 finishes 2nd. Mark Mondell finishes in 3rd. Ron Morris completes a 1-2-3-4 for McCullough Motorsports. Logan York finishes in the 5th position. Tucker McClendon in 6th. Jack Hignite 7th. Zach Range in 8th. Tayshawn McGaney, good start for him tonight. Ends in 9th. And Harrison Whitehead rounds out the top 10. Raymond Hanneman finishes 11th. Dallas Knox in 12th. Aubrey Thompson 13th. Jimmy Shelton 14th. Bobby Forbes 15th. Chris Knighty 16th. Heath Joe finishes 17th tonight. Michael Clay in 18th. Christian Martinez in 19th. And Ryan Baste rounds out the top 20. Richard Elliott finishes 21st. Tyler Vickery in 22nd. Danny Barnes 23rd. John Darnell finishes 24th. Cole Fitzpatrick 25th. Larry McDonald finishes 26th. And Joey Galati, shotgun on the field tonight in 27th. All right. You want to hear from the top 3? We're going to get them up here. They are all set, locked, loaded, and ready to go. And they're waiting on me. So we'll get down to business here. Mark Vondell, the 59 machine from McCullough Motorsports, finishes in 3rd tonight. We'll make sure we're all set to go so that you guys can hear their answers, and we are all set, so we will get this one going for post-race interviews, starting off with our 3rd place finisher, Mark Mondell. Hey, Mark, it's Dawson up in the booth. You get a copy?
Hey, Dawson. How you doing, buddy?
Well, I can't imagine I'm doing as well as you 3 teammates are right now. What a night for you guys. You get 3 trucks into the finale, and it was a run where we saw you guys up front a lot. You guys never got connected, but you got connected when it matters. Take me through that last sequence and how you guys managed to find each other on that last restart that ended up being really chaotic.
Well, it was really crazy because David and Austin and I were trying to hook up. Every time we get a caution, we were put in different lanes, so it was kind of hard. And then the last lane, we all knew that Aubrey had pitted two laps before us. So he was going to be closer on fuel. And he did run out in front of me. That's where I got lucky that Austin and it moved down. They moved down in front of me so I could pick up their draft, and we just took it from there.
Well, you absolutely did. And what a chaotic race. This one, again, had a little bit of everything. Just, kind of take me through what your guys' game plan was going into tonight as a team and how you managed to execute that game plan at the end of the night.
Well, we were trying to stay up front as much as we could and miss all the wrecks, and some of us were able to poor Ron, he seems to hit everything, and David hit a couple hard spots, and Austin and I kept up there pretty good, but luckily they were able to make it back to the front and help us out.
Well, absolutely. Well, you're locked in the championship race. You guys have a little bit of a vacation now, being off the next 3 races, so not racing again until that final championship race. So with that different format, what's different about the preparation for that race? You obviously don't get the momentum of the next 3 weeks, so you have to carry the momentum from tonight into that single race. So just kind of, take me through what the game plan is going to be for you guys to prepare for the championship race.
Well, I think we race each other mostly all the time, no matter this league or any other or series. But we know all the guys, and we just try to work together, keep our heads together, and take it, just take it from there.
Absolutely. And we look forward to seeing you guys in that championship race. So while I've got you up here for a second, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank my teammates. They're awesome. Even Kenny, he can't race this one, but he's the head of our clan, so to speak. And I'd like to thank you guys and John for putting these on. And my wife and kids, they let me do this all the time. So, but thank you very much, Dawson.
Well, thank you for sitting up here and talking to me for a second. Congratulations on an excellent effort tonight, a 3rd-place effort. We will see you in 4 weeks at the championship race.
Thanks, buddy.
Mark Mondell, the 3rd-place finisher tonight, brings us to the man on the runner-up spot. My partner on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights, Austin Green, the Green Ghost, finishes 2nd. Hey, Austin, it's Dawson up in the booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, what's up, Dawson?
Well, what a chaotic last sequence. We had guys running out of fuel. We had wrecks behind the leaders, but in the end, the 3 teammates find each other. Just take me through what was going through your mind on the last restart and, how it felt to have your teammates right there with you as you guys came off turn number 4.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was obviously a ton of luck to get through that big wreck on the first restart, and then I was lucky enough to have Mark and David up there for the next 2. And on I think it was the second one, the initial plan was going to be to just stick behind Aubrey, because I was going to try to be more conservative than I was last week, so that approach didn't work out too well. But I realized I had Mark behind me, and when we got clear and he had a run, I said, all right, well, if you have a run, Mark, let me know, and we can both jump up. So he got it. We went, and then at 3rd, green-white checkered there was just, about as perfect as it could get. I know Aubrey ran out of fuel, but after that, I told David, I said, just hold it down here. I'm not going anywhere. And it was a good finish.
Well, it absolutely was. Back-to-back championship races for you and David here. So, you guys get a little bit of a vacation now. It's kind of weird, a new format this season. So, what's going to be different about the way you prepare for that race, not being able to race the next 3 weeks?
I guess it is. I didn't realize that you couldn't race after you made the one. But I guess I might, watch it, maybe hop up here if I have a chance. I don't know. But I guess we got to still try to get Ron in here. I know he finished 4th tonight. If we can do that, then I think we all just kind of, get ready and do some other money racing until then.
Well, absolutely. You finished 2nd here tonight, the runner-up spot. You are in the championship race, so I'll have you here for a second. Anybody like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, list a little bit longer tonight than usual. First, got to shout out the teammates here tonight, David, Mark, Ron, for all helping me out, all of McCullough Motorsports in general. I want to thank you for doing the broadcast. Do a phenomenal job. Thank you, John, for putting this on. I want to give a shout-out to Ghost 74 that's going to be racing this weekend in the 24 Hours of Daytona. We put out the trailer for that and excited for that. More to come soon on that. Unfortunately, Robert Jordan passed away just recently. Did a lot for the iRacing community and hate to see it, so we put him on the cart. It means a lot to Cody, me, and everybody else on that team that we have a good run. So excited for that, and I think I covered them all.
All right. Well, congratulations on a 2nd-place effort and on that team success tonight, and we will see you in a few weeks in the championship race.
Yep. Thank you, Dawson.
Austin Green, the man who finished 2nd tonight. And that brings you to your winner, the 2-time winner in the Little Guys Series now after his win last season. McCullough Motorsports driver David Sheets in the 1. Hey, David, it's Dawson up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, another victory for you. We talked to you last season after a victory. You go deja vu again this season first off, take me through the last overtime restart and what was going through your mind as you saw your teammates come through the wreck and get in behind you there coming off 4.
Yeah, we knew some of them were going to be pretty close on fuel, and didn't know how many people were going to be pulling off like they did. But we got lined up. Austin gave me a good push where we would pick up Mark, and it's pretty cool to get a 1, 2, 3, 4 for the team.
Well, it definitely is. And, we heard Austin talking just a moment ago. You guys still have to get Ron Morris into the championship race. So, what's the game plan to support him over the next few weeks to try to get him into that race as well?
Yeah, it's the bad thing. With 3 of us making it tonight, it leaves Ron out there by himself for the next few weeks. But we'll just help him however we can and try to spot for him, try to get him in so we can have all 4 drivers in.
Well, absolutely, and certainly, we look forward to seeing you guys in that championship race in a few weeks. It's going to be another attempt for you after you made the championship race last season. Continued success for you in this series. So now, what are you going to take into that championship race that it'll help get you over the hump and get you to that championship?
Yeah, just be aggressive, try to keep it up front. Luckily, obviously, we're going to have some teammates, and try to sit here and talk to you after that race, not finishing in the back again.
All right, well, we look forward to it here in a few weeks. Congratulations on a fantastic run tonight. Another victory for you here in the Little Guys Series, and we will see you in a few weeks at the championship race.
All right, thanks, Dawson.
The final man we are talking to tonight, the winner of tonight's race, David Sheets in the 1. What a run from McCullough Motorsports tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ron Morris, the only driver from the team remaining to get into the championship race, and we look forward to the next few weeks seeing if he can join his teammates in that race. Some programming notes for you here briefly. Tomorrow night on the Ghost Racing Network, you just heard Austin Green. Well, myself and Austin are going to have the call for the round of 8 race of the Ron Morse Racing Tuesday Night Thunder Series over there. What a playoff field we've got over there. Garrett Maines, Cody Nagel, some of the big names you guys know and love in the money racing community are going to duke it out. 4 spots on the line in the championship race, and it's going to be a good one at Talladega tomorrow night in the Xfinity Series cars. After that, we got some PGR racing on Thursday night as I try to pull it up so I can get you all the exact info on that one. Is the Acres 55 Thursday night on the Ghost Racing Network for PGR. I might be on the racetrack. It's yet to be seen. We'll see. But might see me on the racetrack for that one on the Ghost Racing Network. $200 to first in that race. A 55-lapper in the trucks at Talladega Super Speedway. Austin will have you all the way home for that one. And we are getting into the beef of the 500 season, the preparation for the 500. So be watching for several big events over the next several months as we get closer to the Daytona 500 over the next about a month's worth of time. I know the Podium 500 obviously going to take center stage, but I believe several of our own promoters are going to put on 500-mile races in preparation for the Daytona 500. So watch out for more information on that as well. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Thank you so much for helping me honor the life of Robert Jordan and Cody. I know I saw you in chat. I know you were watching, and what a privilege it was, and I know he would say the same thing. What a privilege it was to know Robert and to be, close to Robert and be friends with him. Again, one of the greatest people that I've ever met. He just, was a beam of light for everyone that he was around, and certainly he will be dearly missed by those of us here in this community, the community he loved so much. Hopefully we gave back to his legacy tonight, and we're able to commemorate him in a great way. Come back and join us tomorrow night on the Ghost Racing Network for the round of 8 of the Ron Morse Racing Tuesday Night Thunder Series as we figure out who's going to be running for a championship on Tuesday night. Until then, you've been watching the Hickory Racing Network. My name is Dawson Wise. I hope you enjoyed tonight's racing. Little Guys Series, David Sheets, Austin Green, Mark Von Dell, join Trevor Osronoff, Dustin Carruthers, and Justin Mills as the 6 drivers now locked into our final championship race of the season. We'll be back next Monday about the same time, about 11:15 on the East Coast here on the Hickory Racing